To start, I love the origin story behind this film. For audiences who may not be familiar, can you talk a little bit about how a midnight game of bingo led to this outrageous comedy?
Yes. Well, there was a local bingo hall near where we live that started throwing like 1 a.m. bingo games. And you'd have to like get there and check in like after midnight. And for some reason, one night we ended up going, and then it became like a thing. Like if you were ever like not tired, you would go to this bingo game. And I went like a lot of times and never won, but at some point was started thinking like what how easy it might be to rob this place. Like there was a security guard that was sleeping. There was like a handful of seniors, like possibly single seniors, I couldn't tell you, with their various like good luck charms and a bingo collar, and that was it. um so yeah, I mean, that along with the fact that like Adam Rodness and I, who wrote the film together, also had a premonition once that unrelated to the bingo, that where all of us were hanging out and a friend left early, and
Mhm.
all of us had this premonition that he was going to die, and we like called him to come back, and we took him for pancakes and like sort of tried to like change his course of the future, and he didn't die, which is great. So we like sort of always wanted to explore something about premonitions, then combine that with bingo, put it in a blender, and there you go.
And you guys are creating movie magic, and this film is so self-aware. What you've Adam have done so brilliantly with the script is you're able to toe that line between the absurd and warmth. How were the two of you been able to push each other creatively, and how did that translate into the screenplay?
Well, push each other, we certainly do. Sometimes off of a cliff, sometimes not. But that's part of having a great creative team. It's some people find it easier just to work alone, but I think it's great to work in pairs or teams, because like you do end up pushing for stuff that you think is funny, for stuff you don't think is funny, and it's always good to have like more than one perspective on things.
Mhm.
I think like a lot of humor that I bring to the table is different than what Adam brings to the table. Sometimes I make him laugh, sometimes he makes me laugh. But at the end of the day, whatever we think is the best of the best is what's going to end up on the page. Um, as far as blending, you know, um, absurd sort of comedy with some heart, um, you know, it's fun to laugh, but if there is no heart, then like, what are you really
Mhm.
doing here? We didn't just want to make a movie where people are like getting like rakes to the face. uh we wanted to have some sort of heart, and I feel like, and I appreciate that you recognize it, but I feel like there is definitely some heart at the end of the day, even with these idiots
Yeah.
trying to rob a big ball.
There definitely is. And you've worked with Tony in the past, and he's absolutely hysterical in this role. Did you write this part with him in mind? How did knowing what he was capable of help elevate the material?
Yeah, Tony is a brilliant guy. We first worked with him on a film called Faking a Murderer, where Adam and I were on camera searching for a killer, and like Tony was the killer. And he was so brilliant at that role. He only had two teeth in that movie in real life. He went and got his teeth fixed and got like a whole new set of teeth, and that sort of was the metamorphosis of getting him to play Sheldon in this movie, with his new look and his new grill. But yeah, I mean, Tony's one of these hidden gems in Canada. We've known about him in Canada
Yeah.
for a long time, but I feel like people south of the border and around the world are going to start to see his talent, especially with a role like this. Some people have seen him play sort of like mob guys and other sort of tough guys before, but to have him play like a lead that's carrying an ensemble cast with him, but essentially it's his story. Um, he's a spectacular performer.
You've got such an all-star cast here, and the chemistry between the Vandits is incredible. Was there a moment on set when you realized you were all creating magic and that they had the bond needed to bring the dynamic between those four to life?
Yes, that's a great question. The day before we started filming this movie, and this is a true story, our heist movie got heisted. All of our gear got stolen. Our gear truck got stolen with all of our equipment. And so that really forced everybody to sort of bond together
Mm.
if we were going to get this thing going. The final product that you see, people have no idea that we shot it with like 5 lights and like like literally we pieced together whatever we could get from other local sort of companies that weren't using their stuff, and somehow we made this happen. As far as and I think that really brought everybody closer together, specifically the cast and
Yeah.
myself. Like, we knew what we had to do. We couldn't rely on lights to make this movie. We had to rely on performances and chemistry. Also, the actors, you know, there was not really any egos involved
Mm,
here. Everybody was willing to sort of share the laughs, and that helps. You sometimes you get on a set where there's some alpha actor that wants to be like, I'm number one on the call sheet. I'm number one, and we didn't have that issue. So people had no problem sharing the laughs, sharing the screen time. Everybody gets their time to shine. I don't feel like there's any really, even the smaller characters get
yeah.
their come up. Murray in the bingo hall, he's got like some beautiful stuff going on with the guy who gets tased. Ned, the bingo caller. Everybody's got, even Jan Arden, who plays the snack shack lady, Blanche. Everybody's got like their time to shine.
Yeah.
And everybody shined really bright. I was very, 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 very happy on set. Every day I was laughing. You can only imagine.
Definitely. The comedy genre is one that really encourages improvisation, and you're working with a cast who's really well versed in this space. As a co-writer and director, how did you create the space for them to play and improvise, and how much was scripted versus improvised?
Well, as someone who grew up on the other side of the camera as an actor, I
Yep.
definitely, as my days as an actor, even in movies like Donnie Darko and whatnot, like lots of improv, lots of improv. So I'm very, very open to, I speak that language. So if someone brings something to the table that's making us laugh, that's better than what's on the page, by all means. I don't think that Adam and I believe that we are Stephen King or Steven Spielberg or Steven Bochco. We're not any Stevens. So we don't, just because we wrote it down doesn't mean it's the greatest thing ever. If there's something better, let's do it. And even I was improving, like whispering different lines to different actors to try to make each other laugh during the thing. It's part of the process. Some directors are very stringent on their
Mhm.
scripts, say what's on the page or F off. That's not us. We definitely encourage, unless it's someone's not good at it, then you got to find a polite way to sort of tell them, like, hey, man, just let's stick with what's on the page. But, I didn't really have that issue with this cast. They're all veterans. They're all amazing, brilliant actors. And, if they made us laugh, then chances are it made it into the film.
And you answered my next question, but in addition to directing and writing, you're also an actor. Have you found that your experiences in front of the camera have influenced the way that you've now approached your work as a writer director and the way that you collaborate with your cast?
100%. I feel like I'm definitely, my strength is being like an actor's director,
Hmm.
working with actors, speaking their language, knowing what they want, what their expectations are. It's more than just like hitting your mark and finding your light. It's about getting the right confidence boost. It's almost like you're a football coach. You have the right players in place to make the plays, and you got to sort of keep them motivated to like bring their A game. Um, yeah, I would say that that's a real benefit to me, coming from years and years and years of being an actor. That's definitely 100% go. That gives me a leg up for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
And your cast has praised you through all the interviews and press that they've done for this film. This film is so unexpected and it continues to build throughout. Is there a scene in particular that you're really excited for audiences to see?
That's a great question, man. You got the good questions today. I would say that yes, the surprising thing for me is, you make a movie for people to watch it, and all you really care about when you're making movies like this, we're not making these movies to get rich. We're making it because we love it, and it's a very passionate project. If you don't love what you're doing, then you're in the wrong business at this level that we're making these movies. So having an opportunity for audience to actually see the movie, the finished product, and enjoy it like it sounds like you did, that really warms, that's the motivation right there. As far as scenes specifically that I want people to see, well, there is a big twist at the end. Uh, so I guess like when that twist hits, I would, that's what I would sort of want to be in the room and sort of like,
Mm, yeah.
looking to see how people react to that. But there is a twist towards the end of the movie that people may not see coming. I would say that that's probably the one that gets me the most excited.
Yeah, definitely. I did not see it coming. And the film has made its way around the festival circuit. It's been incredibly well received, and you're getting so much praise for it. What do you think is resonating most with audiences, and what do you hope they take away?
I think that people, there's a lot of and sounds like such a cliche answer, but there really is a lot of bad stuff going on in the world. Like, I
Mm,
know that you could have given this answer last year, the year before, 10 years before that, and every year, but specifically, it's a really, the world is in dire straits right now. And to have 90 minutes to 2 hours to sort of unplug, it's necessary. It's necessary for your well-being to like find a way to smile throughout all of the
mm,
depressing stuff that if you turn on the TV, it's all depressing. So having an opportunity to do something that makes people smile and laugh, especially a holiday film, that's a true honor as a filmmaker to be able to do something like that. And there's so many Hallmark movies and there's so many
mhm.
Christmas that are the same thing over and over and over. And there's movies that I love, the holiday movies that stand out, like Bad Santa is a great
Yeah.
example of a holiday movie I love. Even something like Home Alone, which is not your traditional Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas movie and it's so fun. That was our goal. Adam and I wanted to make a movie that, was different than the rest of the
Yeah.
Christmas stuff that's out there, that stands out on its own 2 feet and will make people laugh. And hopefully we accomplish that. It seems like, for the most part, we're accomplishing that. Some people aren't really, there's no accounting for taste, but most people seem to like it. So I'll stick with that.
Yeah, you both definitely accomplished that. I'm not a fan of like holiday movies, and I really, really enjoyed this. And you're such an exciting voice in this industry. Outside of this project, what's next for you? And is there a bucket list a story on your bucket list still left to tell?
Oh yeah. I mean, we got a lot of stories left to tell. You're very complimentary. Like, I would love to talk to you every day. It just makes me feel like we're doing something right. We actually just shot a sequel to our Faking a Murderer movie. We just wrapped up filming it like 5 days ago. So that's going to be coming next Halloween, and it's I don't know if you're familiar with the movie. You should check it out if you're a fan of Vandits. It's called Faking a Murder, and it's like a hybrid movie that will also, you'll like it. I know you'll
Yeah,
like it,
yeah,
but we're shot a sequel for that. But yeah, there's definitely more stories to tell. Not just ones that Adam and I write. I think like our company now is growing to a point where we're also looking outside of just our brains and seeing what other people have created and other stories that are out there. We've gotten to a place where we've done 6 movies now, and we're ready to take on other projects too. So people who are watching, who are filmmakers themselves that want to team up, hit us up, send us your stuff. But yeah, I'm inspired to tell stories more than ever now.